This year, science has been filled with innovation, perseverance, and groundbreaking advancements, despite the challenges faced by our planet. I'm delighted to share with you the recent news of 2022. As this year ends, it's time to reflect on the news that we might have heard in the past 12 months. So, here's the roundup of the year. But first, let's hear something exciting. People across the world are celebrating the arrival of the new year at different times of the day as the clock strikes 12 for their time zone. But what about the International Space Station? Astronauts that are whistling around the Earth about 400 kilometers above its surface. The ISS orbits the Earth at 8 kilometers per second. This means the space station orbits the Earth 16 times a day, traveling 16 sunsets and sunrises. Also, astronauts that aboard the space station come from countries with vastly different time zones, all the way from the United States to Japan. So, what time zone is followed by astronauts and when will they celebrate the new year? Well, the ISS astronauts will be celebrating it at 5:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time tomorrow on January 1st, 2023. This is because ISS follows the Universal Cooperative Time, also known as Greenwich Meridian Time. The UTC is 1 hour behind the Central European Time and 5.5 hours behind the Indian Time. And now, let's hear the news of 2022. First, according to NASA, in the year 2031, the International Space Station will die by crashing into the Pacific Ocean. According to NASA's estimations, the space station's operational life will come to an end with a controlled deorbit in January 2031. The hub of the scientific research will be replaced by commercial space platforms. According to NASA, the International Space Station will continue its operation until 2031 and then crash into an inhabited area in the Pacific Ocean known as Point Nemo. It will be replaced with 3 free-flying space stations to continue the work after ISS retirement. NASA also selected Houston-based Axiom Space to provide the ISS first commercial module. By prime test series of all banking, SSC, insurance and other exams. For over 2 decades, the International Space Station ISS has been orbiting Earth at a speed of about 8 kilometers per second, while an international crew of astronauts and cosmonauts on board conducted groundbreaking scientific investigations that have thrown open the doors for deep space explorations. But now, NASA has announced that the spacecraft will cease operations in 2031, after which it will fall out of the orbit and plunge into the waters of South Pacific Ocean. Next on the list is James Webb's Space Telescope that captures the glowing bright heart of the galaxy. The James Webb Space Telescope captured the image of NGC 7469, a spiral galaxy that is 220 million light years away from our planet. It is to help scientists learn about the interaction between active galactic nucleuses and starburst activity. The European Space Agency, also known as ESA, shared this image of a face-on spiral galaxy that is approximately 90,000 light years in diameter and sits 220 million light years away from our planet in the constellation Pegasus. This image is dominated by the galaxy's extremely bright active galactic nucleus. The active galactic nucleus AGN of NGC 7469, the spiral galaxy in the image, is so bright because of the light emitted by the dust and gas as it falls into the black hole at the galaxy's center. According to ESA, this galaxy provides astronomers with a single unique opportunity to study the relationship between AGN starburst activity because AGN is surrounded by a starburst ring that is at a distance of 1500 light years. The starburst refers to the intense activity involving the formation of new stars. Next on our list is NASA's Mars lander InSight, which falls silent after 4 years. NASA reported that InSight, which is a satellite that is on Mars, unexpectedly didn't respond to communications from Earth on Sunday. It could be the end of the red dusty line for NASA's InSight lander. which has fallen silent after 4 years on Mars. The lander's power level has been dwelling for months because of all the dust coating its solar panels. Ground controllers at California's Jet Propulsion Laboratory knew that the end was near. Next, a theory says that ice on the moon's poles might have come from ancient volcanoes. 4 billion years ago, lava spilled onto the moon's crust, etching the man in the moon we see today. But the volcanoes may have also left a much colder legacy, ice. 2 billion years of volcanic eruptions on the moon may have led to the creation of short-lived atmospheres which contain water vapor. Next, a bizarre gamma ray burst breaks the rules for cosmic eruptions. Astronomers have spotted a bright gamma ray burst that upends previous theories of how these energetic cosmic eruptions occur. For decades, astronomers through the GRBs came into two favors, long and short, that is lasting longer than 2 seconds or twinkling out more quickly. Each type has been linked to different cosmic events. But about a year ago, two NASA space telescopes caught a short GRBs in long GRBs clothing. It lasted a long time but originated from small GRB source. Next, NASA's massive rocket finally launches to moon. In November 2022, the Artemis 1 mission launched, the first integrated flight test of NASA's space launch mission. A massive rocket that NASA hopes will enable an eventual lunar landing. The uncrewed launch was a long time coming. Elements of the program have been underdeveloped for over a decade. If all goes according to plan, a second Artemis flight, this time with crew, will take place in 2024, with a crewed lunar landing in 2025. Another component of this program, a tiny spacecraft called Capstone, entered into lunar orbit several days prior to Artemis. It will test a complicated orbit planned for a potential lunar space station called Gateway, which should serve as a space way station for astronauts moving between Earth and the Moon. Next on our list is the world's fastest supercomputer. A supercomputer named Frontier crunched number with a mind-blowing speed with over 1.1 quintillion operations per second. This machine, run by Oak Ridge National Laboratory, the first Exascale computer, a computer that can perform at least 10 to the power 18 operations per second. The next fastest computer tops at a speed of 442 quintillion, that's 10 to the power 15 operations per second. Exascale computing is expected to lead to breakthroughs in everything from climate science to health to particle physics. Next, we are going to be talking about the closest black hole to Earth. By shifting through data released by the Gaia spacecraft, astrophysicists discovered a black hole that's just over 1560 light years from Earth. Gaia BH1 is about twice as close as the previously nearest black hole, but that record may not stand. About 1 million black holes are predicted to exist in the Milky Way galaxy. Since most are invisible, they are hard to find. But when Gaia, which is precisely mapping a billion stars, releases its batch next to data science in few years, even closer black hole may turn up. Finally, it is said that the sea level may rise by 2 meters by 2100. An Asian Department Bank report presented during the bank's annual board meeting warns that the sea level rise in the Asia Pacific could exceed 2 meters by 2100 due to groundwater withdrawal as well as the warming of oceans as a result of climate change. Based on observed data collected since 2000, most islands in the Pacific Island region are subsiding. Therefore, the effect of sea level rise will be magnified where the land is falling. Another report said that the sea levels were expected to keep rising for several centuries, posing an ongoing challenge for the South Pacific Islands. And for the final part, we are going to be talking about the Nobel Prize distribution this year, which was held in October, for the fields of first medicine.
The Nobel Assembly at Karolinska Institutet has today decided to award the 2022 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine to Svante Pääbo for his discoveries concerning the genomes of extinct hominins and human evolution.
And now for physics.
The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences has this morning decided to award the 2022 Nobel Prize in Physics in equal share to Alain Aspin, Université Paris-Saclay, and École Polytechnique Palaiseau, France. John F. Clauser, J. F. Clauser and Associates, Walnut Creek, California, USA. And to Anton Zeilinger, University of Vienna, they received the prize for experiments with entangled photons, establishing the violation of Bell inequalities and pioneering quantum information science.
And now for chemistry.
The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences has this morning decided to award the 2022 Nobel Prize in Chemistry in equal shares to Caroline Bertozzi, Stanford University, California, USA, Morten Meldal, University of Copenhagen, Denmark, and to Barry Sharpless, Scripps Research, La Jolla, California, USA. They received the prize for the development of click chemistry and bioorthogonal chemistry.